What's going on, y'all? Conscious One coming at you. So I said, let me go ahead and take the time to talk to you guys about, serious stuff, stuff that can motivate people to be better for themselves. Maybe, people looking for that Midas touch. They're looking on how to improve themselves to be not only, better for themselves, but to be, uh, better for the world. Um, Spirit wanted me to come on here and talk about emotional blackmail, how I feel about it and stuff like that. Well, I mean, one thing that's hard for me to listen to these days is people talking about, the way that I used to be. But the way that I used to be operated under a system where I was being emotionally blackmailed by the people that I grew up around, and and others, not just the family, but others. It's kind of hard. It's kind of unfair to judge a person on a situation where they was being not only emotionally blackmailed by one or two people, but pretty much everybody they've ever been around their whole entire life, just to be emotionally blackmailed. And again, this is not only talking about me, guys, but I'm talking about any one of you guys who may be dealing with the same type of situation. It's not fun to be emotionally blackmailed. But I'm gonna get more. Let me just finish up this thing about people judging my character based on a situation where I was involved with emotional blackmail. It's kind of unfair to me to say what type of character I was based on me living in a reality of being emotionally blackmailed, where the people who say they love you didn't love you and stuff like that. Um, I would like to more be judged on the individual I am after I left the situation of emotionally blackmail, after I found out what actually was going on. Then judge me on whether I please people or what type of loving individual I am, or don't let people disrespect you. It's like come on, people, like seriously, like ain't nobody trying to hear that, man. I was under a system of emotional blackmail, and it's not fair to be judged. My character to be judged based on a situation. I mean, I wouldn't judge anybody's character unless unless that individual knew exactly what was happening to them, right? I mean, that's only fair to the individual, to judge them after they know exactly what's going on. Okay, not when somebody's in a situation where they don't know what's going on. People talk about getting going along, keeping the peace and stuff like that. Of course, I was going to try to keep the peace. I didn't know what the hell was going on. What, I'm gonna start flipping over chairs and tables and not even knowing what the hell was going on. People just emotionally blackmailing you. Um, So I'd rather be judged on the type of individual I am after I find out what the truth is. I think that's more fair to me. So a lot of videos that I hear about people talking about the way I used to be, it's like it doesn't make any sense because I lived under reality of lies and being emotionally blackmailed. That's not fair to judge my character uh, based on that type of, you know, uh, false reality that I was living in. Um, Now here's the kicker to emotional blackmail is that I start to find out over the years that most people are just living under the system of emotional blackmail. Most people consider emotional blackmail as normal. A lot of people grew up in the system of emotional blackmail and they go out here and that's all they do is emotionally blackmail people. They don't know any better. So somebody like me coming around who's honest and truthful and spreads love and honest with people, they can't handle that because their whole life has been emotionally blackmailing. You get a job, you being emotionally blackmailed. If you get a job that you really don't want to work there, that's emotional blackmail. Uh, so when I go out here, guys, and I deal with people, I understand that most people have been living under a system of emotional blackmail. They just simply don't know any better. And the only way I can help these people is come on here and tell you guys how I love myself, How? By doing my YouTube videos. I don't have to write a book or do none of that stuff. I simply be myself, and people look at the way of how I live and say, somebody can pick up and say, man, I should be taking care of myself, whether it has to do with eating or exercise or, how they look at the world. I do all that stuff on my YouTube channel. I don't have to be put in a box where I directly write a book and say, this is how you do A, B, and C. People can literally look at the way I look and take care of myself on my YouTube channel and say, pick up things, because I got a lot of stuff. Man, maybe I should travel to go overseas by myself. Man, I wonder, could I travel somewhere I never been and like it? I wonder, can I change my diet? I wonder, uh, how can I love myself more to be a better person? My whole YouTube channel is about that. And it shows that I love myself. So it's just good not to have to depend on other people for love. And I'm never gonna come on here acting like I'm some butthurt person who's, oh my God, like everybody's betrayed me, and now I must go out here and avenge myself for the way this world has emotionally. But no, it ain't none of that. What it helps me do is take all that love that I was giving out freely and putting it all back into myself. That's all really anybody got to do in a situation where they feel like they've been betrayed. I'm in a good spot right now. I don't have, I'm not in the type of situation where people, you know, uh, are dependent on me in any type of way where I can't just go inward. That's what's good about my situation right now, which brings me to my next point. I hate when these cars start flashing their light to me. I'm about to move. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Man, it's like the lights that they be putting on these cars, man. Anyway, um, where was I? Yeah, I was gonna talk to y'all a little bit about, love. you know, uh, Me finding a spouse like that. The whole thing of me getting in a relationship, I think me and my spouse, we really have to match up. There has to be things about my characteristics that person can benefit from, and vice versa. I'll give you an example. Let's say you met a girl who wasn't raised with her father, or her father just wasn't there. I think that woman will be more likely to appreciate somebody like me because, I have attributes of a teacher, of a father, but at the same time as a friend and a lover, whereas another woman might not appreciate that. I have all this wisdom. Maybe they already grew up with a father. Maybe they're looking for a guy who's a little bit more whimsical. I mean, I hate to put it like that, but I study people, and a lot of these dudes, especially with the way that they raise us now with social media and video games and all the things that they do to make people have ADHD now and all this type of stuff. The men are like really whimsical out here to me. I mean, that's just my opinion. A lot of whimsicals, but there are women who whimsicals too, Mrs. and Mister Whimsicals. You know what I mean? Um, Somebody like me, I have a little bit of old school, but I come off more a little bit like a father figure. I think I'd be a great father to my children. I already know my children would absolutely love me. I'd be like the best dad in the world and shit. But there's a woman who maybe if she didn't have her father in her life can appreciate, you know, uh, all the mental characteristics that I have about me. But then at the same time, I'm like, I have this childlike, kid-like personality that loves to laugh and play around and joke around and stuff like that. So it's the best. It's to a woman who I think will match up with me. Is somebody who appreciates this the mental apparatus that I have to be able to hold down a family and function as a good husband and a good father. I think that I represent that all the way. But like I said, not every woman is looking for that. You see what I'm saying? Not every woman is looking for a guy who using all that headspace up there. That can make some women insecure. that a guy knows as much as I know. That can make somebody feel really, really insecure. They think that I'm judging them. They think that I'm like analyzing them like freaking Terminator 2 with the freaking digital eye and shit. And it's not like that at all. But yeah, when it comes to spouses, man, you really you know, you're a guy and you're looking for a wife and stuff. The energies really have to match up. It has to be a reason why she would be into a guy like me, and vice versa. It has to be a reason why I'm into a woman like that. Uh, the women, you know, I can't say women because it's like I can probably count on one hand women I actually see that I'm actually interested in. But the woman that I see that I don't want to say go after or something like that. That's because I see something about her that really makes me feel comfortable. I feel like she really matches up with my personality. You know what I mean? Like, cause I got like a childlike personality, and I look at a woman out there, and she's got to be somebody that I'm gonna enjoy being around and make me laugh, and she's down to earth, and she sees things objectively too. Things got to really match up, man. It's not easy. It's not easy to find a spouse out here these days, guys. It's not easy. But when I see somebody that I really think matches up with me like that, oh, I swoop right in. I can see her personality and her character, and I'm like, yeah, that's somebody I can actually enjoy being around. And like I said, it's not easy. I know I'm digressing, guys, but I want to kind of go random on this audio on this video here. Uh, but yeah, it's not easy. But I just want to conclude it with this whole emotional blackmail thing. The people are used to being emotionally blackmailed. It's not always the people's fault for operating out of a system. Like somebody like me come around who's genuine, and they don't understand it because they ain't been around it before. Everything that they do is about emotionally blackmail. If you're a dad, maybe your wife is always maybe you grew up, you and your wife just live in a world where y'all just emotionally blackmail each other, and you emotionally blackmail your children, and your children emotionally blackmail you, and everybody's just walking around in kind of like this false reality. And don't try to come in and break up that reality because that can cause some problems. Uh Man, guys, just to end it on, stuff again that's on my mind. This food thing out here, I don't know how people eat this food. I told you guys a little while ago, I said, a lot of stuff with me don't even have to do with human behavior. It's so simple with me. Like I can't eat I can't even eat the food that these people eat. I don't know how people eat this food and get up and still operate like with a functional mind, but you know, y'all saw how I cook and the ingredients I eat. I don't know how people just eat this fucking poison every goddamn day. I don't know how you do it, y'all. I can't eat this bread. I can't eat this milk. I can't be eating all these goddamn grains. I don't know how these motherfuckers do this shit, you know what I mean? But anyway, guys, yeah, but people are used to being emotionally blackmailed. That's all they know. They a lot of people just simply don't know no better. Okay, but that's why it's so nice that I don't really need people like that. Although I am entering a stage where I want a wife. But at the same time, I'm glad that I learned to love myself, and that's it. I don't need much. We don't live a long time in this world. It's a good thing that we don't because it's like we're living in a false reality here. Everything's fake. The news is fake, people are fake, the food is fake, fake food, fake people, right? I can't expect too much from this reality, guys. Can't expect too much from it. But yeah, I just said about enough. Spirit just wanted me to come on here and talk to you guys a little bit about emotionally being people who emotionally blackmail. But we live in a society that thrives off emotional blackmail, and people are just doing what they've been taught to do. As far as the people who can go above and beyond and break the program that the Matrix give you, It's, I mean, man, it's few and far in between, man. That's why it's really important that I find a wife that has also seen beneath the surface, see, and stuff like that. But I don't know. We'll see, y'all. We'll see. So I hope I come on here and say something beneficial to you guys. Maybe I do a narration tomorrow or something. But no, being emotionally blackmailed, for a soul like me, I don't like. That's not fun. I'd rather take all that energy, all that wasted time and energy, and focus on myself. You know what I'm saying? So I hope I said something beneficial, and I'll holler at y'all later. All right? Peace.